Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about what I term cloaking, and you can get an idea of what I'm talking about by cloaking. That's hiding, and great white sharks actually do this. They will use, they're stealth predators. This is what people miss. They're primarily stealth predators, and they'll use stealth for opportunism, and they will use stealth to actually purposely hunt, as a strategy to hunt, like lions. The same as a lion. A lion, if the lion's going along and he's hungry and there's just a springbok or a antelope, whatever, standing there completely unaware of what's going on, or a zebra, the lion will just go in and possibly attack it, and just an opportunistic attack, and take the zebra out or whatever the prey is. But then the lions will also creep through the grass. They'll creep to the grass and they'll hide away, and they focused on a particular strategy in order to hunt a certain animal, a prey item. And the great white sharks are exactly the same. They'll use opportunism. Opportunity arrives, bang, they take it, or they'll use stealth and a strategy to get what they want. So that's the main thing. They are stealth predators. And they're not just random, stupid animals that go and bite and feed and whenever the opportunity arrives. It doesn't work like that. They wouldn't survive. So they use cloaking because they are, as I say, stealth predators. And they'll use kelp forests, and they'll go down to the bottom near a seal colony where they blend into the topography or the geography of the bottom, the seabed. If there's a lot of reefs there, they'll cruise around there on the reefs, hiding away from the seals, waiting for a seal to pass over, and then follow the seal. And when the seal comes up for a breath or something, they'll come up and take the seal. And that's the kind of strategy they'll use. But we also noticed that even when we were baiting, and when we do bait the sharks, you get many individuals that use the boat as a cloaking device, and they'll even use cloud cover. But let's talk about the boat first. So now what happens, you got your boat. This is my cell phone cover. So there's your boat, and as I explained in other videos, we often anchor the boat side on like this. So if this is the bow of the boat or the front of the boat, you normally anchor off there. So your anchor line runs like that, and then the boat goes into the stream, and the anchor line will be like this. But we often anchor it where we run a line from the bow, from the front of the boat, and from the stern of the boat in a V, and then we put the anchor rope down like that. So the boat is like this, the stream's running like that, the boat's side on like that, and then we're working off the side of the boat, which makes a lot of sense because it gives us a much larger working area, and also it protects the sharks from banging into the outboard engines or the propellers or whatever it may be, the dive platform, and you don't injure the animal because you're working off the side of the boat. So we'd often, and what you do, let's say we tag in the sharks, right? And so you got one guy with the bait line, one of the crew would be using the bait line, and he tosses it out, carry it in front of a donkey, and then he guides the shark in, and the shark will follow the bait in, and then in the last second, the bait will be pulled out the water, the shark turns away, and I pop a tag into the shark. That's how we work with the sharks. Or, we're filming them and we want to get them close, and we want to get markings on the sharks, photographs of the dorsal fins. That's how we work with them. So they're trying to get the bait, and usually, they're pretty chilled out, and they'll go for the bait a few times, they'll cruise around, they'll come back for the bait. But there are days where they are so determined. You get those individuals. There's some days where they're all just on, and that bait hits the water, and you have to have so much skill to make sure that that shark does not get that bait. But you get these sharks, these individuals that want that bait no matter what. They want that tune head, or they want a chunk of seal, or whatever you got on the end of the bait line. They want it. And if they're not successful in their normal approach, because the bait handler can see the shark coming, and usually up on the top deck we got another set of eyes watching, and So the bait hand is on the water, on the deck of the boat, eyes up there, and then the guy up there or the girl up there will be shouting, incoming from the left or incoming from the right, or straight on, 2 o'clock. So the bait handler then knows where the shark is coming from, and he won't allow the shark to get the bait. But when that shark really wants to get the bait, they'll try and try and try, and then they'll use different tactics. They'll suddenly, instead of coming in from there, like you'll see it coming from 10 or 15 meters away, coming up towards the bait. Suddenly, they'll come straight up from underneath. So the bait's lying in the water like this, and you're still looking out there, and it's that typical Jaws mode, and suddenly the shark comes straight up, like boom, and he's got the bait. So they use different strategies. They're very clever. And then now he gets the bait first time like that, okay? Or she gets the bait first time like that. So now the shark knows, okay, that's the strategy I'm going to use. But we're also now expecting the shark to do that. So instead of looking out there, we're looking straight down into the water. And then next time the shark tries it, the bait handler, the bait handler pulls that bait away and the shark misses. Then what we often saw, the shark would then start using the boat. So it'll go away and you'll watch it. It'll circle around the boat, around the bow of the boat, and then suddenly, it'll disappear. And you're thinking, where's the shark? And you're looking around, where's the shark? And then it'll come up under the boat. So now you're standing there with a bait line and you're looking out there, where's the shark? And the bait's maybe 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 meters from the boat. But when you've got a really active shark, the bait's normally 5 or 6 meters from the boat, not too far, because you want to be able to get it away from the shark quickly. And that shark will come from under the boat. So it'll actually cloak itself under the boat. It'll rise from the bottom, come under the boat, and then shoot out from beneath the boat and grab the bait. So they use cloaking. This is what we call cloaking. And then we found on days that, where the light was maybe very cloudy and you got some light coming in from this direction and you can see the water, you can see what's going on. No, you got a reflection on the water like that and you can't really see what's going on because you've got this dark cloud and you've got this reflection of the water. But this side, where this, in line with the sun, you can see quite clearly. And you might be working off that side of the boat where you can see clearly, and the shark you'll be able to get the bait away from the shark. But then what the shark will do, it'll start using the cloud cover to cloak itself. So it'll use the environment to make itself as inconspicuous as possible, as stealthy as possible. So they'll use these things. So it's not just the boat. They will literally use the cloud cover or the direction of the sun, and they think. And it shows how bright these animals are, how smart they are. They'll actually think, and they'll plan, and they'll strategize, and they will try different things. They'll explore different avenues in order to get what they want when they really do want it. So, so that's what I got to say about cloaking. I think you get a good idea of what I'm talking about. They're smart animals, and they're stealth predators, 100%. Fantastic animals.